questions in. Give me time to go over everything, and that's definitely going to help us. And I know you're excited about driving. I'm excited to drive you. And I think if we plan, it will all work itself out. That's the hardest thing. You want to get everything done. All right, when planning for a turn in heavy traffic, you should prepare to get in the proper lane about 2 to 3 blocks before. Signal your intention, get over early, take your time and look. I think a lot of beginners try to force the car in or they wait too long. I've seen both. Some students and adults get in too early and then they panic. Some get in too late. It's better to get in, I think, a little bit early and have your blinker on a little extra longer instead of getting in too late. People aren't patient. Number two, when backing a vehicle, you should clearly see the direction your vehicle is moving. The best way to do this is by turning your head and shoulders and looking backwards. This is true. Even though you guys have backup cameras, you still need to look. You could rear end a car across from you, hit a kid, hit a car. Take your time, back up slow. We'll do a lot of backing maneuvers, and I think that's really important that we work on our backup maneuvering and really focus on good maneuverability. I think that's really important for all of us to just take our time. And I think when I have classes that are really excited, we want to keep your adrenaline moving toward a positive situation instead of negative, meaning that everyone is going to be fed, everyone's going to eat good, everyone's going to drive good. Before moving in reverse, you should always check. Thank you. I'm so blessed that they help you. You should, before moving in reverse, you should always check to see the area behind you. Number four, when entering traffic from a parking spot, you should wait for a large enough gap. And this is true. A lot of beginners will pull out in front. You'll scare your parent. You'll scare me. And then we look at you like you're crazy. I'm just telling you the truth. But your parents won't drive you. And then if you, I want to see you in 3 months. Your goal is to come back to get into segment 2 in 3 months. And as I said, a lot of you won't do this. Next, when you want to back out at an angle parking spot on the street with two vehicles, with two-way traffic, you should always back out slowly and look over your shoulder to the right and to the left. You got to look back up slow. A lot of these questions are about maneuverability. Hello, how are you doing? Hopefully you're enjoying this. Put questions in, please, and thank you. Next, searching for specific driving-related clues is different. You drive in downtown Detroit, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Los Angeles, California, in your sub. Every area is different. And once you realize there are different unique things, downtown Chicago, you're going to have different places to go. And you're going to realize, man, it's really dangerous. And you'll figure that out as time goes along. The process of searching critical areas of traffic environments in a regular sequence is an orderly search pattern. Left, middle, right, always search, always look around. Next, the instant you observe a critical conflict, you should check your mirrors. Look behind you, keep room, keep space. To aim high in steering means you should at least have 12 to 15 seconds. You want to have space. You want to see the car cutting over. You want to see the truck moving over. You want to be able to see different things. The distance your vehicle travels from the time you see a hazard to the time your brain knows a hazard is called perception distance. The area you can see around your vehicle is called field of vision. So that's everything around you. Let's keep going. The searching means to glance quickly and continually. That is true. Next, when driving on the expressway, how many seconds ahead should the driver search? That is 20 to 30 seconds. 1 too short, 10 to 12 is too short, 20 to 30. When driving in the city, you should always check signals at least 1 block ahead. To steer straight forward and look forward far ahead toward the center of your intended path of travel, that is true. You always want to look. Is there debris on the ground? Is there an accident? Next, if you must stop at an intersection here just before the intersection, where should you cross the railroad tracks? You should stop before the railroad crossings. You never want to get stuck on the railroad crossings. That's a dangerous situation. Next, when preparing to make a 3-point turnaround, you should pull to the right and stop. When preparing to make a right turn, besides signaling 3 or 4 seconds in advance, you tap your brake lights, flash them a couple times to let people know what you're doing. When you predict where the path may cross another vehicle, you're predicting the point of, and it's called the point of conflict. When you're going to hit something. So you might want to reduce your speed, go left, go right. Next. When following a vehicle that blocks your view ahead of the road, it is best to follow at a greater distance. A lot of these questions force you to think about driving situations, taking time, keeping room. To avoid a collision, when following a vehicle that blocks your view at the head of the road, it is best to follow at a greater distance. Next. To avoid a collision, okay. To avoid a collision that appears to hit you on the side, you should brake or accelerate quickly. True or false? It is false. You want to brake or accelerate quickly. 24. When a vehicle hits a fixed object like a tree, the most important factor in determining how hard it hits the tree is the speed. So you want to reduce your speed. If you must leave the roadway at a high rate of speed, no open space is available, you should steer for something soft. Never hit anything hard. 26, you need to identify hazard further ahead when driving at faster speeds because you reach hazards at a much quicker speed, so the faster you go, the faster you reach hazards. Number 26, you need to identify hazards further ahead by driving faster, further speeds because you need to react to the hazard quickly. 27, the best way to keep from getting a driving situation is to constantly search. Next, the key factor when driving in the city is to plan you to concentrate on seeing everything in your traffic scene. I know I'll probably put a couple of questions in. Let's keep going. Put a couple of questions in, please, and thank you. I'm going to go to 60. I'm carrying the weight. And then you're going to do the rest. Put a couple of questions in, please, and thank you about this. Not about test questions, not about AI, about this. A lot of this information forces you to drive slower, keep space, react, because you don't know what a car will do, a kid will do. Lights are pretty predictable. Signs are always predictable. A stop is a stop. A yield is a yield. But sometimes traffic lights may malfunction. Sometimes pedestrians walk out in front of you. Sometimes a bike rider may fall in front of you. Sometimes you're driving through a neighborhood, a dog or a cat may run out, or a car may speed really fast. So you always want to anticipate the dangers that could happen, and then you are not caught by surprise as much. How you guys doing? Put comments in, put questions. This is the Q&A. Ask your questions. Okay, I'm gonna go to the chat and look what you put in. What you do there's nothing soft to hit. You don't want to swerve. You can roll your car over. Dirt. Look, most areas have dirt on the side or gravel on the side. Soft, if there's no bush, then ride in the mud, ride in the dirt, ride in the gravel. There's always something soft on the road, okay? Because you have the pavement, then you have the white line, then off of the white line you have gravel, you have dirt. The pavement does end, so there's always something soft to hit. Good question. What do you do when someone swerves in your lane, like on a bridge? You're going to die because you can't move. So you want to squeeze your brakes and try to slow down as much speed. You're on the bridge. You can't go left. You can't go right. So I'm giving you the real life situation. Slow down as much as possible and try to hit them at an angle. That's a great question. How come when you have to stop at a railroad crossing instead of proceeding caution? Connor, the train always has the right of way. On school buses, hazardous material carriers, they have to stop, open the door, and look. You always want to look and check railroad crossings. Some railroad crossings don't have gates and lights. You always have to look. Always assume a train is coming. You can't beat the train. What is something considered soft? Dirt, gravel, mud, anything off-road is soft. Connor, you know what something hard is? A tree, a big boulder, something soft. You know what something soft is, Connor? I'm sorry, Dylan. What should you do what should I do when I'm about to make a collision? Is there any safe or better? Slow down as much as possible. Again, try to side swipe. Hit it at an angle. Always an angle. Okay? Avoid a head-on collision. What do you do if there's nothing soft? We already answered that. You don't want to swerve. You want to lose this much speed. If there's nothing soft, you slow down as much as possible. So I think you guys have been on the road with your parents. There's always the side of the road. There's gravel, there's dirt, there's mud. So the road, you have a paved road, and then on the right side, you have the white line. Over the white line, you're in the shoulder of the road. That's dirt, that's mud, that's grass. If I need to show you a picture, I will. What do you do? Okay, you don't want to swerve. Swerving maneuvers are dangerous. You always want to think swerve, you're going to lose control and roll your car over. Rollovers are very dangerous. Is a human reaction time enough? No, a human reaction time is not enough because we're not faster than an actual moving object. So that's why you want to control your speed as much as possible. That's why speed limits are 60 or 70 or 75. Because it's a safe area to maneuver and you should be able to control your car within a reasonable distance. What's the best way to merge by a truck? Either it depends on how close you are to the truck. Are you ahead of the truck? You merge out and accelerate. Are you beside the truck? You squeeze your brakes, you fall in behind. It's either you're going to be ahead of the truck or behind the truck. Good question. If you don't keep space when you stop, what happens? You crash. I'm being really simple. You have to remember to have a space cushion. That's going to save you in case you slide. That's going to save you in case the person panic stops. This is why when cars drive, they have space between them. And I'm saying this to you in a very pure way. When we learn to drive, we're going to learn to have good speed and good space. What's the difference between yielding and stopping? Yield means you slow down. Stop means you come to a complete stop for 3 seconds. Minimum 3 seconds. Good question. If you miss class, I'll see you next month. That's all. That's all. Let's see you next month. The company is aware you have to have 24 hours of class, 6 drives, 4 hours of observation. You all are busy. I am the facilitator of this class. So you miss days, you're going to make it up next month. That's not my concern. I do my job. You won't get your certificate until the days are made up. So I don't even have to worry. Because I don't worry. I just deliver the content and do my best. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. I like your questions. And the biggest thing is just keep that space. That usually helps you out 90% of the time. When you must handle several hazards at the same time, the basic tactic is to adjust speed and space. So as these questions progress, speed, slow down, space, keep space to see a hazard to the left, a hazard to the right. Mariana Rose, yes, go ahead.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Go ahead. You're good, girl.
Okay.
All right, I'm here for you. The single biggest cause of crashes is drivers running into things they can't see. I'll say it again. The biggest hazard, you run into things you can't see. You didn't see the car pulling on in front of you. You hit it. You didn't see the stop sign. You blew the stop sign and hit a car. You're driving through your school parking lot. You didn't see the cheerleader come out and you hit her and she flipped over your car. You're driving at night. You made a right turn in your sub. You didn't see the mother and child walking to your left or right. You hit them. So that's the biggest thing. And it seems simple. It can't be that simple. It really is that simple. Lainey.
You mean Lillian?
Lillian, go ahead. Question.
Can I go? I've made up my time.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. It's all good. Let's keep going. What's the biggest factor? Okay, drivers run things they can't see. A driver has the least amount of control over the space behind you. Okay, so you think it's in front. That's not true. Okay, so you can't control if someone is tailgating you. That's why we have to keep space. If someone is tailgating you, you just maintain your speed and maintain position. What's the most basic principle of controlling consequences of a crash is to avoid a head-on crash. Those are the most dangerous. How do you avoid this? Don't run lights. Look ahead. Don't drive distracted. Keep space. So you may say, how do I keep space? You drive at a car length for every 10 miles an hour. You pick a stationary object. You count 1001, 1002. Once you pass the telephone pole or the Arby's sign or the McDonald's sign, you have 4 spaces. You're 4 seconds. So you have to learn that quickly on your first and second drive. A large truck is driving in the middle of the lane of 3 lanes going in the same direction. You want to pass. What is best to do? To pass on the right or left? We talked about this. It's best to pass on the left. But what if I can't pass on the left? Then you're going to have to pass on the right. It's preferred to pass on the left. I think once you guys are driving, you're going to learn you have to execute. If you're going to have a collision, okay, I'm going to hit what I do to reduce the impact. Slow down. Hit it at an angle. Go to the side. Side swipe. If a passing vehicle has to cut closely in front of you to avoid oncoming cars, you should slow down and check, excuse me, your right shoulder. Because remember, we're in America. We drive on the right. If we were in the UK, Australia, or India, we drive on the left. We had a question yesterday. When you pass in a vehicle on a 2-lane road, your engine misses and speed decreases. You have to fall back to your maneuver. A miss is the car's not running correctly. It hesitates. It cuts off. So you got to understand keywords. This is a driver's education test. We're not talking about AI. We're not talking about American history. We're not talking about math. You need to understand these terms, guys, and this is why I'm going over it. I'm gonna go to 50, and it's a wrap for me. Next, you are driving with the roll of parked cars on the right. You should choose the middle lane, of course. You want to keep space. Cars will hit you, break off your mirror, then you got to report that. When driving past vehicles parked on the left or right, you should position the vehicle at least 1 door length away. If you encounter a vehicle heading to you in the wrong direction on a one-way street, you want to allow the vehicle, you want to go to the right, you want to sound your horn. People do get confused in downtown areas. If you are continually being passed on the right and left while driving in the center lane, you need to move over to the right. You're driving too slow, and that's going to make drivers road rage. You can pass a vehicle on the right if the vehicle head is making a left turn and you don't have to leave the pavement. This is true. The right-of-way laws are written in terms of who must yield. 2 cars come together at the same time, the car on the right has the right-of-way. If a car is making a turn and you're going straight, you can and go through, and then they're turning, sure, allow them to go through. A lot of beginning drivers panic at four-way stops. This is why we're going to four-way stops. When you are parallel parking, you should be within how many inches of the curb? 12. Some downtown areas do check. You mean they really measure? Yeah, you're going to get a ticket because you parked 14 inches away. Oh, that's stupid. Tell it to the judge. So if you don't know how to park, or if you park on the curb, you're going to get a ticket. So you have to know how to parallel park. When you're driving on a highway, the final decision to or to proceed to pass is just made prior to researching the vehicle, you're reaching the vehicle you're passing. So you got to make a decision. Do I need to speed up? Do I need to slow down? Okay, I'm stopping here. I'll call someone from 44 to 50. Put a question. We're getting this done, so prepare to grind. Hey, hey, how are you? We talked about India before. There's a content creator I do follow from India. Awesome. Just driver's ed stuff. How are you doing? Put some questions in, please, and thank you. All right, you should have put some questions in. I want to keep going. We're dragging a little bit. One time. Yes, you'll read in a moment. Ashley, just make up your days. So, Ashley, we'll talk off air. Ashley, are you here for makeup, or are you in my class?
I'm in your class. I have scheduled a makeup day.
Okay, so you missed the first day, right, Ashley?
Not the first day.
What days did you miss?
I missed Thursday.
Okay, so you got to make that up. And what other day did you miss?
That was it.
So you only missed Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I'm not asking, always ask, why are you going through? Okay, so yeah, they're watching you guys. Okay, if you come late, if you leave early, if you disconnect, if you don't have the time made up, your session won't count. Ashley, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not my worry. I'm the provider. If your internet is weak, then your time won't count. So always speak truth. So this way, your mom and dad, you know it. The best way to avoid a collision is before we stop, yield, look ahead, understand that people won't stop. They'll just blow through stop signs. And you want to be a safe driver. If you're a safe driver, you're going to assume, hey, they're going to run the stop sign. They're not going to stop. But you're going to make eye contact. This is me looking. You're going to make eye contact with drivers, and you want to be safe. Do you want to have a good driving record or bad driving record? Do you want to smash your car and you won't get one for another 3 or 4 years? So you have to think like that. You want to guard your life. No one is going to guard it except for you. Why don't distractions have a more likely chance of crashing? I don't understand your question. Your mom talking to you in your car, that's a distraction. Your phone rings, that's a distraction. You got to go to the bathroom, that's a distraction. Anything that takes your mind off driving is a distraction. So you want to try to control as many elements of distractions as possible because you won't focus on the driving process. I'm trying to give you real life examples. I'd like to question. The Department of Motor Vehicles set that if you're over 12 inches, the side of your car is out in the road. It's going to get hit. Okay, so they set 12 inches, which is a foot. Good question. Is parallel parking hard? If you don't practice it, you will fail it. We will have to practice. We'll do it 6 to 8 times. You have to know how to parallel park or you won't get your permit and you won't get your license. We have a video on that. Why does it have to be the person on the right? Because the way the rules were written by Department of Motor Vehicles, the person on the right has the right of way. They're driving engineers who set these rules up. And this is the standard example. We're in the United States. We drive on the right side of the road. So you're probably saying, oh, in the UK, they drive on the left. In Australia, they drive on the left. In India, they drive on the left. These are the rules that they have set states. I'm keeping it pure, simple, no cap, no hate. Those are the rules. And if you don't understand those rules, you will have an at-fault accident, failure to yield, failure to establish your right of way, stop sign, you got hit. So those are very common. So if you don't learn this very quickly, you're going to smash your car, you're going to fail your test. If I'm getting hit, when should I focus on my pass? You want to focus on you controlling the car first. Okay? If you know you're going to get hit and you focus on the passenger and you jerk the wheel and flip the car, that's your fault. If you get hit and just pushed, you might be pushed to the edge. So always establish control of the car first. That's a good question. Okay, guys, thank you. Look at the videos, comment later.